Huh. Where those yaks at? Well, NetHack really isn't too complicated. Once you figure out what the tricks are, it's not really too hard, honestly. It takes a while to learn the tricks. I think the big tricks are how to use prayer effectively. Knowing to use ranged attacks is actually pretty important. And knowing, well, I mean, yes, you do, but you have a reference for that. Knowing what you can do is important, but the actual specifics of like, oh yeah, I can do this, you kind of just have it as a reference. It's a lot of referring to the wiki for effects, but the one thing that you really need to internalize well is how to use prayer to avoid starvation and certain other things. That one you do need to have like swapped in reasonably. You need to know what you can get out of prayer. That's a major one for survival. It's not really as much of a big deal as you were saying, I would feel. I mean, what you're talking about is more basic like roguelike awareness, if anything. You just have to know that these games are kind of complex and you have to have the right knowledge. And if you're say able to beat DCSS, you won't go to NetHack and find it being like, oh, this is impossible or it's too much. You do have to know to refer to those things, and it is sort of hidden, and you have to read spoilers to know it. It's definitely more complicated, and I won't say it's trivial, but I don't think it's any like massive undertaking or anything. If you can already beat, say, this game well, or especially if you can beat a game like a Dom or Brogue or one of the other complicated roguelikes. Yeah, it can be kind of fun to read because there's just so much wacky stuff in the game. Yeah, prayer timeout, prayer usage really comes to mind as one of the things. It's like a lot of people just don't figure that out. Um, Combat in that game is relatively straightforward about avoiding certain things and use of Elbreth, and that's changed with the changes they've made to Elbreth, but it's still certainly true. And other stuff that's vaguely similar to knowing about prayer in terms of like all this detail is how to exploit shops, price identification, how to steal from shops. So prayer, shop manipulation, pet manipulation also important, less complicated, but and related to shops. And then, you just have to memorize read spoilers for Sokoban puzzles until you memorize them, and if you can get to quest, the game's kind of won for most characters. Yeah, mind flayers are scaring you. It's for one reason, exactly one reason. It is because you are not using thrown daggers or darts, which you should enchant. If you do that, obviously you can genocide them, and that's great. If you get a scroll of genocide, just do that. Genocide semicolon, or well, you should genocide semicolon. But mind flayers are, what are they? They're like, are they on H? You can genocide mind flayers and liches and stuff. But if for all of those other monsters that you don't want to let kill you, enchanted daggers, darts, get them up to skilled. People, I see that a lot, that NetHack players don't know how much damage throwing daggers and darts can do, especially if you're at skilled. You'll throw 3 or something like 2.5 on average, and you can make a stack of highly enchanted ones. Obviously, +7 is good, and that's what I usually do. But you can work with a smaller stack for a while with a bit less enchantment, and it will just destroy anything in the game, basically. It's basically better than melee in almost every way, even better than like dual wielding Grey Swandeer and Silver Saber. It just makes mincemeat out of them. But even if you do use like the overpowered melee stuff, you still kind of want to have the thrown stuff, unless you have maybe Magic Missile. Magic Missile is also very good. Yep. Get daggers up to skill as hopefully you need one that goes all the way up to skill 3 for it to be really good. So whichever of daggers or darts, but you're talking to Valkyrie, and I think they can do daggers, so that's what you should do. Get plain daggers, cancel them if you can to get them all +0, and then get them that way. They'll enchant in a giant stack, and then put that in your bag of holding. You can leave some out of the bag of holding, and then anytime you see Disenchanter, Mind Flare, you know, anything that you don't want to that you can't let melee you, that works really well. And yeah, it's a really good early game tactic too. But obviously, if you can just genocide everything, that works really well, because then you don't have to think about it. You just have to find a source of genocide sitting on every throne. And polypiling is another. It's less good, I think, than it used to be. I think they nerfed polypiling some. I'm not sure. Somebody said something about it, but it sounded like it was just nerfing to pudding farming, which I know they did nerf that. Yep, yeah, if you don't find a polywand, and obviously there's the spell, but it's going to be my highest hailstorm play. Here we go. Oh, 12 fighting, 12 dodging. Got a little bit of conj. Oh. Guess I ended up getting petrified. Slave wand, very nice. It's my spell power with Hailstorm. Not amazing. I need some enhancer. Don't want that. It's not a bad, not like awful right now. I'm using a really crappy weapon. I should be using this elect whip, honestly. Like, there's no reason. Like, I'm not using the plus rage, so I think I'm just gonna go ahead and switch over to the whip. I want is a decent pole arm, and maybe there's that -1 Spear of Pain. Don't really want to go training a whole ton of Necro. Sorry, Necro. Yeah, -2, no thanks. Dream Sheeper. Well, well, well. Wand of Digging, huh? Went that route rather than giving her the opportunity. Ooh, it's a lot of jellies. Giving her the opportunity to hit me with distortion and send me to the abyss. Starburst, wrong spell school. Josephine, huh? Come on, Josie. That went pretty well, all things considered. Another artifact ring. What's it going to be? Well, I guess that's my RF ring, if I want that. Go ahead and drop the other one. No out of rage, huh? That is good, but... oh no. Do we want a magic map here? We got shafted just as we were done with layer 5, really. Well, not quite done. See water, so... yeah, you would do that. Thankfully, nothing else was awake. So if things get nasty, we'll definitely go ahead and read magic map. It's Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles time. Pizza time. Shoutouts to Substyly, who always loves to hear Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles played when he's watching RPGs. He says it's very immersive. Fire Dragon Scales. Have I found the proverbial caster armor to go with my manual of armor? Think of the flavor. Ice Elementalist, but wreathed in the Fire Dragon Scales. Protection from all fire ailments. I assume that is a big old layer vault right there. Possibly my vault. Yeah, Ramparts is definitely kicking a lot of butt. Does make me think of what if, and this is purely a hypothetical, what if we didn't have a summon spell in the starting book? What if, E-Bearing? I think people like Ice Beasts as far as summons go, but that's basically because it's just incredibly strong. Feel strangely numb, but you didn't even cast statue for. What did you cast? Sounds like you cast something. Okay, our ramparts are not doing a lot of work here. Oh, look at you guys. Moving past them, huh? Come on. Oh, what's wrong? Being emotionally numb. Is this roguelike so replayable that it can solve my psychological issues? Open source game for free confirmed better than seeing a therapist. Oh, indeed. It is, in fact, Gamma-Funk Lair. Water Temple. There's the Windrake. I got my own layer ending. Use Bang CS to see the current song. Definitely a Twitch or OC remix. Sounds like Eric Satie. Oof. Oh boy. This 8-headed Hydra. Oof. Kinda didn't prioritize that guy very well. Yeah, basically Eric Satie. Ice Magic 14. We'll definitely get for 15 dodging. Oh, yep. Sacrifice evocations, not my favorite sacrifice. You can do a lot with evocations. I think it's a pretty good sacrifice if you're like doing stuff pretty optimally, but oh, aren't you spicy? Running over near this alarm trap, not amazing. Since something could blink onto it. Well, that's not, like, evocations is good at like 0 skill. You don't need more than like 3, 5, or whatever. Wands are just really, really good. I mean, if you're an ogre, you're really strong. So as long as you know how to play an ogre. Some people struggle with a species like that. And it's nice to have evocations, but if you feel you're doing okay, then yeah. See, that confused me. What do we got? Staff of Death. I'm going to drop that. Yep. Oof. There's the Merfolk avatar. Oh, aren't you, Okay, so he's gonna try to lead me to water. Which I'm not super keen on. On the other hand, I don't really have a lot of... Yeah. He has too much MR to try to hex. There's probably not that much left in the vault, but there definitely could be some nasty things. So I just have to be a little bit careful and not let things get out of hand. This should do it. Down he goes. Went kind of all out there, but oof. Been playing too much Infra Arcana. I'm hitting the key to shout in Infra Arcana, and that key happens to be O, which is also known as the Auto Explore key in DCSS. You know, I was all worried about water, and I kind of forgot how I'm a friggin' Merfolk, but whatever. I think I've been forgetting that the entire run. Got Transfigs. It's like water is actually... These things can swim in water. Water is not really a big deal. On the other hand, getting pulled into a vault with a ton of nasty stuff would have been, but yeah, it looks like I cleared out the vault pretty well. So remember, you are a fish. Glug glug. Put Saba pings in chat if you think that I'm forgetting to remember that I'm a Merfolk. Anytime you see it, just give me a Saba ping. Okay, a third Windrake. It's amazing. Whoa. This Windrake is putting up more of a fight than the... Oh my god. That Windrake, man, he like almost killed me. He was bringing it, that guy. That's the lowest, like, well, feels like the lowest ratio of HP I've had since start of the game. So there's Fire Dragon Scales. If I wanted to mess around with that later, or sort of now, I could enchant it. I'm not really doing much actual melee, but eventually my spells are going to get... Well, that's not really true. I do have Ozas or Fridge and Freezing Cloud. Can get a bit more Conj to help F Cloud out. It's still good in Swamp against most things. Do we have anything that... Oh yeah, there's that vault. Where's that vault at? Let's see, can we take on the transporter vault now? Oh, what was the staff? Okay, we're gonna drop that. Get that junk out of my face. Don't want to wield the Morning Star quite yet, because, okay, this is just a Staff of Power. That's good to know. There's probably more loot because the bros have all picked it up here, so there's still a good reason to get in here. It is a little bit nasty, but let's see what we can do with... outside. Is that another Staff of Power? Holy crap. Yep, it's a remix of Dire Dire Docks. Exclamation point CS if you want to see the song. Bolt of Magma, are you insulting me, Vehumet? Don't insult me. I can remove you from the game. Sassy with me. Is he still reflecting? This guy I want to kill like pronto, so I'm gonna go ahead and burn a. There we go. Got him. Yep, he was carrying stuff. +2 prot ring, skull blinking, not bad. I got a mystery scroll, which is brand weapon. Oh shit! No. Why did I do that? Oh man, I was thinking, oh yeah, it's enchant, and then I played myself. Oh no. Press F. I have to quit the run. Control Q. Don't autopilot read scrolls. It's funny. It's like, oh, this might be acquirement, and it wasn't. And then it told me what it was, but oh well. Now I need to find a new. Is there a good pole arm? Halberd. Problem is, oh, there's what else is that in here? Oh, just arrows. It's just in the clouds. Yeah, these teleport trapped in all the blades. Yeah, that can happen. That's what you get sometimes for doing elf. Usually it's easy to just go ahead and teleport out, though. Potion of experience. What are we gonna train? Let's see, some conj up to 6. That's not too bad. Some int, get a little bit of help to hailstorm. This is not amazing. Which I'll go ahead and burn a dig. Got him. ID this. Oh, well, well, well. Look at you. You are my new friend. Get out of my face. Whip of protection. I already have plus invis though. So you're really not really all that much better, are you? But I haven't even used invis once. That's what kind of run this has been. Yeah. I just pretended like I didn't know that whip anymore, and he's like, after all we've been through, you did this to me. But I don't care. You're not cool anymore, whip. Turn off some auto pickup items. I guess I'll carry flame for now, but turn these off auto pickup because they can basically stay where they are. That heal wounds action. Very nice. Well, that was what is it? 2 hours to clear lair. I've been talking about how I'm going to play games faster. Clearly not, but then again, I guess I am sort of quote unquote testing stuff. Sounds like it's time to teleport out of Hall of Blades. Actually, Yorgrun no longer has Shatter, by the way. MfIE Veh. He has Iron Shot. He can constrict you with like Awaken Vines or whatever it is. That spell that I gave him that does constriction. So you're fine in statue form, really. You won't have any trouble with him. Okay, well, verdict so far is that Frozen Ramparts is definitely still quite strong and useful. It's making very short work of all lair monsters. Does make me like this idea of maybe looking to get Ice Beast out of the starting book, potentially, since we have a quite strong level 3 spell that's very good at doing damage. Ice Beast is still incredibly good, but it would be kind of nice if we could do that. But that's just an idea. That's sort of amusing. I'm not sure about Hailstorm's power level. It is really good AoE, but it is a little bit tough to make it do good damage. But again, that much AoE is really, really strong in certain situations. So Yeah, he does have LRD. That's true. And yeah, you are vulnerable to that. So that is a good point. You don't really need Iron Shot to kill him necessarily, though, or statue form to kill him. You can just, you know, you could go and use a leg pod if you really wanted to. I know players like to lug those around, but he does have his Iron Shot does do quite a bit of damage, to be fair.